Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our next matchup for UFC Perf. In this one, we have Jamie Mullarkey versus Ronaldo Bedoya. Mullarkey is 17-8 as a pro, 2-3 in his last 5 fights, while Bedoya is 14-4, and similar to Mullarkey, he is 2-3 in his last 5. Look at Mullarkey in his last 5. His latest win was a win over Francisco Prado. Then he got knocked out by Mohamed Naimov. Then in his last win, currently speaking, he beat John Musesa. Then he got knocked out viciously twice by Nasrat Hasparas and Marcinho Hufi. Meanwhile, Bedoya, overall in the UFC, he's 0-3. Lost to Chaos Williams in a close fight in his debut 2 years ago in May. Then he loses to Keon Song. And then most recently, last August, attempts a move down to lightweight where he loses a decision to Jai Herbert. This is one of those fights that reads the loser gets a pink slip to me. Because if Bedoya loses, he is winless in the UFC in 4 fights, while if Mullarkey loses, being 1-4 in your last 5, and especially with how he's losing, doesn't bode well. Now, looking at their overall skill sets, Mullarkey is a pretty good pressure-based fighter. He has some pretty good striking. He doesn't throw one shot. He does throw with volume. Mostly, it's your classic combos, jab, cross, hook, that kind of stuff. He also does have some wrestling in his back pocket, but most of his style revolves around more or less relying on his durability, relying on his chin for sure, and just using his pressure, whether it be the wrestling or striking, to break his opponents down and either get the finish or win on the scorecards. Actually, it's crazy. When I was doing research, I found out Mullarkey actually fought Volkanovski for a regional title. That's just like MMA, man, small world. Meanwhile, Bedoya, I would say, is a more vicious striker. He trains with the Shoot to Box Diego Lima team, so his Muay Thai is pretty impressive. And even in some of these losses, like in his debut against Chaos Williams on short notice, he had a lot of moments against Williams. Mostly was able to match his output for 3 rounds. He's got pretty good cardio in his own right, and overall outland, but did lose to a well-known power puncher. But then in his most recent fight against Jai Herbert, he kind of looked, I would say, lost. He looked lost, as he couldn't really get anything going and was just one step behind a much more tactical striker. Looking at the odds, they're essentially a pick'em, minus 105 for Mullarkey, minus 115 for Rolando. That makes a lot of sense, especially if you look at Mullarkey's last 3 losses. All of them are by pretty vicious knockout. It definitely seems Mullarkey's chin is gone and kind of just betraying him at these moments when he's needed it. I mean, Naimov and Hasparov landed just a mean right hand on the chin, and he was out in a heap, and Rufi just styled on him. Now, the question is, can Bolano do the same? He's got really good striking. I do wonder about the power, but at the same time, welterweight is not his real weight class. It was mostly lightweight, so fighting Keon Song and Chaos Williams was never really going to bode well in terms of hunting for a finish, but his striking output is very good, and I think he has more weapons than Mullarkey. Now, the big question is, for me, can Mullarkey take him down and use his pressure to kind of wilt Bellato? That's a possibility. Bellato so far has shown some good takedown defense and is overall at least good enough to stay on the feet. But I think at the same time, Mullarkey's definitely going to try and hunt for the takedown much more than the last 3 opponents, as those last 3 are mostly strikers. Overall, I feel like it comes down to, do you trust the chin of Jamie Mullarkey to take the hits that Bedoya is going to for sure try and land on him? I don't think I can. But being honest, like I said, those last 3 losses have really kind of sealed the deal on where I think Mullarkey is right now. I just don't think his chin's gonna hold up anymore. Now, the physical specs, make with them what you will, right? 6 foot with a 74-inch reach for Mullarkey, 5'11" to 75.2 inches of reach for Bedoya. Not too much crazy in terms of like if there's a big height difference or reach difference, not really. Overall, I know he's winless in the UFC, and I know that that's never really a good sign, especially when you want to like pick a guy to win. But I think he has the power to hurt Mullarkey in this fight. I just cannot see Mullarkey surviving a lot of the shots, especially in a 3-round contest, when Bedoya has shown that he's got 3 rounds of cardio in him to push forward and hunt for a finish, or at the very least, hunt for round winning damage, especially against the guy's chin, like I've said at this point. Just untrustworthy. It's untrustworthy. That's the big thing. I don't trust Jamie Mullarkey's durability. Now, this was a few years ago, maybe, but right now, I think Bedoya's kind of set to get his first UFC win. I'm going to pick Rolando Bedoya, and I think he's going to get the knockout. At this point, that's just like how I see him winning this. I think his striking is ahead of Mullarkey, especially in terms of versatility and what weapons he has at his disposal. And while maybe Mullarkey can get a takedown every now and again, I think that team, Diego Lima, have been training Rolando to either stuff it, hunt for a submission to help him get up, or in general just have a good get-up game, period. So I think with all the recentness that's happened to both men's careers, I think Ronaldo is going to get the knockout of Jimmy Mullarkey. Now, that being said, that has been my official prediction for this matchup. If you liked the video, comment and subscribe. Next up, we'll have Colby Thickens versus Josiah Musasa. But with that being said, I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary. I hope you all enjoyed. Take care.